Hello guys, going to be going over the NBA preseason Friday, October 15th NBA slate. We got 8 games here, and this will be the last preseason slate of the NBA season before the regular season kicks off on next Tuesday on I believe it's the 19th. So before we get into the video though, I do have an announcement to make. So I have decided to join the DFS Army for this upcoming NBA season. I will be writing articles for them, and there will be more information as we get closer to the season. But I'm going to be joining them as a writer, so all of the NBA articles I'm going to have a part of. Just going to be kind of starting out with tournaments, mostly focused on Draftkings because that's what I'm doing for all these videos, and they will be free. So even though probably I'm not going to be able to make as many videos now, we'll still always be on Twitter. So you can always ask me anything on there, DM me or anything, just like usual. But yeah, for YouTube, probably not going to be doing a whole lot just because I have to be focused on that. But again, the articles are free, so if you want to give those a read, go ahead. If you guys do sign up, I will have a promo code, so I'm going to give you guys that later. I do anticipate having a regular season video for Tuesday, so that should be coming sometime around this weekend, and I'll let you guys know on Twitter when I do post that, just like every single video. So that's just a personal announcement I wanted to tell you guys. So hopefully you guys do just go ahead and read what I have to write. Just pretty much going to be going over everything that I didn't talk about in the video, but just in written format. So with this slate though, for the last preseason slate, it's been quite a preseason, I'm sure, for everyone. Hopefully you guys made some money. Last one, Boston versus Miami. So this is at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. So gonna be a little bit earlier than usual. We already have a lot of guys out, and I'm not too sure about any of these other guys, like because the night before you just don't have the same kind of news that you do for a regular slate. But with what we have to go off of, Tatum 8,300, if he's gonna be playing regular minutes without Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, all these dudes, for sure, I think he's gonna look pretty good as a spinner option. But again, with 8 games, I would say there are a lot of options that we can pay up for. So he's not a lock. Now, Al Horford being out, that's going to bump up Robert Williams, but the Miami Heat anticipate this game being a dress rehearsal, meaning that they're going to play it pretty similar to what it would be like if it were a regular season game. That's going to mean they're going to be playing a lot of their starters big minutes, and their overall defense is going to be a lot better. The Heat do play a little bit slow, and so it's going to be kind of a tough matchup for these guys. Now, Dennis Schroeder, he's 4,600. I think he's a little bit intriguing, but I do think we're going to get better value plays just because not every team is going to be playing their starters. There will be teams that are going to be playing shorthand with like less than 10 bodies. So Schroeder, 4,600. He definitely is too cheap, but I'm not sure if I want to go there if there's other value. Like he's not a bad player, but just we don't know about his minutes yet, and maybe other teams just have better plays. Now on the Heat side, so ignore all of these players that are listed out. They were out on Thursday, so this is a back-to-back, but pretty much all of them are going to be playing because they already said that they're resting them on the first leg. So all of them are really cheap. If Boston, or we already know actually about Boston how they're going to be resting some guys, the Heat are going to look pretty good. Now, if this is a dress rehearsal, that's going to mean they're going to be playing into the third at least, and possibly into the fourth. It depends if Boston keep this game close, as we saw with like the Mavericks and the Hornets game. If it blows out, then they're not going to get it in the minutes. But I would say right now, looking at it, Baller at 7K, Bam season 1, Lowry 56. These guys are all too cheap if they're going to play big minutes. So they're definitely all in play. Now, because they're going to be in, I'm not going to be playing any of the value guys that we've been playing, like Spruce, Gabe Vincent, Potter. These guys are just out of play. Now, the Cleveland side, this team is pretty annoying, honestly, when it comes to fantasy. They just play pretty much everyone. They have so many guards, so many bigs. It's really weird, just how the roster is. But their prices aren't really high, but also they're not really appealing because they just none of them are really like good fantasy point per minute players. Like Trent Allen, yes, he's been at times, but they have so many bigs again. So just not a good team I'm going to target. If some of these guys are out, then we'll have to revisit it. But just for right now, we can't really go to them. Now, the Indy side, Brogdon is doubtful, so probably going to be missing this game. TJ McConnell would definitely be a lock if this were the regular season, but he's not someone who really needs the minutes. I already know who he is. He's kind of proven. But Chris Duarte, he's a rookie, 5,800. He played big minutes last time. Same as a bonus. I think both of them are going to be looking pretty good. If we have get some word on their minutes, that would be definitely helpful. But right now, I think Duarte should be considered a core play, just because that price is too cheap right now. And if they're going to be without Brogdon, which he's doubtful, so expecting that to happen, Duarte looks like he's going to be locked in for another game closer over even 30 minutes. Now on to Philly. So Embiid, Tobias already ruled out. Also Shake Milton, Danny Green, and then Thibault. So Ben Simmons is actually he hasn't been ruled out. He's back with the team now, and I don't expect him to play heavy minutes. But I mean, Doc Rivers is kind of weird, so maybe he does because he hasn't been with the team. We don't know, but if he's in, then that's gonna hurt someone like Tyrese Maxey. If he's out, then I think Maxey looks pretty good because of just when you're taking out two of the high usage guys, someone's gonna have to step in. Danny Green's a shooter, so there are gonna be more shots that are open up. Seth Curry, but yeah, Seth Curry he's the structure, so he's not gonna be doing a whole lot else. So I usually don't play him. Now I think Andre Drummond is a core play right now. I think he's the best player on the slate. Looking at the night before, without a mid, we already saw what he did before, and at 6K, this is too cheap. He doesn't even need to play in the fourth. Like if he just plays three, he's gonna be looking really good. Has tremendous upside. He can get you 50 plus. And Detroit, they are. This is his former team, but I mean it's right. It's the preseason. I'm not gonna put too much stock into revenge narratives, but Isaiah Stewart is a very undersized center. Drummond should be able to pretty much take advantage of that. Kelly Olynyk, he's bigger, but he's also not physically as imposing as Drummond is. So I think Drummond is going to be one of the best players on the slate right now. Um, Now, on the Pistons side, and they also kind of like the Cavs, just they're not really too appealing. Like they have a lot of young guys, but none of them are really proven. Like I would say Olynyk as the one guy who's older, who we've seen him been a really good fantasy player, but he's coming off the bench, and because he is older, his minutes aren't always gonna be like the safest. I would say though, if he's going to play this game, even though coming off the bench, he's gonna look really good because he's just so cheap at 4,600. He's already had games where he's gone up for like 30 plus fantasy points, and so with power forward eligibility, it does make it pretty easy to include him. Now on to the Wizards. So more of these games are just most of the other games are like we need to know about the minutes. So right now, I would say that this is a kind of tough matchup because the Knicks play slow. They are a good defensive team, and the Knicks are basically treating preseason like a regular season. So I'm not sure if I really do want to pay up for Beal, but um, he's a spend option. Like he is going to be the star for this team. Everyone else, I don't think I want to chase Kuzma. Dinwiddie he's priced like fairly. So I mean, I think Harrell and Gafford are fine, but they're not like really that cheap. I would prefer to just go to Drummond and save a little bit. So not really appealing to me for the Wizards. Now the Knicks, I mean, they get a huge bump here because of the Wizards matchup, but like I don't know, the Knicks. This is their last game. If Tibbs is going to play all the stars regular minutes, that's gonna mean he's the fourth playing them when there's only like 2 minutes left in the game. So if they are gonna play 30 plus minutes for sure, I think these are the best spin ups that he can get. They do feel pretty safe because it is Tibbs. That's just how he runs his team. So I think Reynolds is going to be one of the best spin-up options right now. And then Kemba Walker, 6,700. Not someone that we really like the roster in the past few years, but that does feel a little bit cheap. And this is a very good matchup. So it wouldn't be surprising if Kemba could have just a good shooting game and really be a very good play. Now, that's pretty much it. Like, I know Quickly is cheap, but he is off the bench, so just starters with how much run they get. Gonna prefer to go to Randall and Kemba pretty much. Now, Memphis, so I believe they rested pretty much everyone the last game, and so they should be good to go for this one. They have been giving them pretty good minutes when they do play, so I expect JJJ's to Triple J to pretty much get the regular minutes of preseason. Now, the Bulls, this is going to be a tougher matchup because the Bulls are just a much improved team. But again, because we do have security in the minutes and these guys are actually legit NBA players that have talent, I would still be okay with going to them, but none of them really stand out right now just because I think there are better plays that stand out the night before looking at the slate. So other than those guys, I think Melton just a very good fantasy producer. Dylan Brooks still out, so if he were to get a start, he could be fine. But yeah, I'm not. Kyle Anderson's actually back though, so I don't know how the line's going to work. But yeah, just have to watch on that. Now the Bulls, they should be able to continue to see third quarter minutes. So I would say you can probably expect still like 25 to 20 minutes for starters, possibly more even. And they do look pretty affordable. So I would say for an 8 game slate, maybe you can go a max of 2 of these guys because you just have a lot of security in them. So that's what I like about this side. Now, kind of pretty much only focus with the 4 guys here. And then for the Dallas side, they pretty much have called it. So with all these stars out, or the stars out, Brunson, he usually would be a cash game lock, but in the preseason, I don't know if he gets a start. If he does, for sure, he looks pretty good. But just know that because he's kind of a veteran now on this team, we know that we always like to go to Brunson. His ownership is probably going to be a little bit elevated because of that, but because this is the preseason, I don't really feel like he's locked into like 30 plus minutes with all the usage in the world, like the regular season. So I don't really think he's going to be a must. Everyone else, they just don't really have like good fantasy players here. Like they can all get there because of all these guys being out, but I just don't really feel comfortable with anyone here. So not sure if I want to go there. Now onto the Bucks. So just similar thing. Like if they get their minutes, yeah, they're going to be great. Like Holiday, Middleton, they're too cheap. Giannis, he's one of the best fantasy players out there, and he looks definitely cheap if he's able to play regular minutes. So these guys are all going to be in play. If they're ruled out, then yeah, we already done this before. So Mamu looking really good as a center play, and Thanasis and Nora's price up. Yeah, he's 6K. So they'll still all be in play though, but expecting them to probably go for this one because it's the last preseason game. Now, Houston and the Spurs, this looks pretty good to me because the Houston team, they're pretty young, and also it's a good matchup. They're all really priced nicely, so I like Wood, I like KBJ, prefer them both over Jalen Green, but Jalen Green, he's a top pick, so he can certainly get there. Sengun, he's a little bit priced up, but he's a very good fantasy player, so no worries about him if you don't want to play him. Hopefully, we get a little bit of word just to see what they plan on doing because that's usually how we like to approach the preseason slates. But if not, I don't really am concerned about these Rockets because they are pretty young. So we usually expect to get at least mid to late 20s in minutes. Now the Spurs, they're the team that is a little bit worrisome because it's Popovich. So we don't know what he's going to do. He can definitely play starters like a quarter, wouldn't have surprised me, or he could play them in the fourth. Like DeJounte Murray, he got fourth quarter run a few games ago. So if they do play good minutes, then yeah, I think Murray, he's too cheap there. White, Keldon, not so much because he doesn't handle the ball and he just doesn't get assists. He rebounds, but I mean, I'd rather have Murray and White who both can rebound and also contribute in other categories. So those would be the 2 guys. I think Pirtle's really good, 5,400, just a very productive center and cheap, probably not going anywhere. So yeah, just pretty much Murray and White, and then Pirtle, and then for the last game, 7 p.m. So it's a big gap, but I would say because they've already ruled out some guys that the other guys shouldn't be playing then. And if that is the case, I'm not sure about their minutes. Hopefully, get word on that. But we have to assume that they're going to play regular minutes because this is the last game. But just again, it's pretty much a guessing game right now. But CJ McCollum, we would definitely play him because of Logan being out. Nurk is very much in play as well. And then we usually like to go to Simons, but he's out. But then we have DSJ, who's already priced up. So I would think just focus with CJ and Nurk. Now on to the Warriors. So right now it says that Seth is questionable, but we don't actually know. Because he was out last time, I think he could be in for this one, similar with Draymond. So if they're both in, I think they're both very good plays. We can definitely see a game where they both play into the third quarter, playing close to 30 minutes. So I like them both quite a bit. And they just feel a little bit too cheap. So I like them both. Now, everyone else, like Poole to Wiggins, these 4 guys, I think they're a bit too expensive. So again, I want to prioritize Curry and Draymond here. And I would say for the core, then I'm gonna have to go with Steph Curry. Then I think you're gonna go with Draymond, but for this video, I'm gonna pick 5 guys, and I will say CJ as the other option I can go with, and then we're gonna go with KPJ, and then Drummond, probably the best player of the slate right now. He's on the Sixers, not on the Pistons. And then going to go to the Pacers side with Chris Duarte. So that's going to be the core 5 the night before. Make sure you guys stay up to date. Just follow the beat reporters, or I mean, you can follow me too. But I mean, mostly, you ask me any questions. I'm there to help, but I will quote, tweet, retweet the important news that I see from the team reporters and the beat reporters. So make sure you're always on Twitter. Twitter is your best friend for fantasy, especially for NBA. But yeah, for regular season, definitely get on to Twitter. Just it's free. That's where you get the news the fastest. So make sure you do that. And yeah, I will give you guys more information about the slate as the day goes on. Remember, it is a 3:30 log time, 30 minutes earlier than normal. And then again with DFS Army, I will get you guys the promo code if you guys do want to sign up. And also, I will have probably my first article written up, hopefully by the time I release the video for the Tuesday slate. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the support this preseason, and hoping that you guys have made a lot of money and can continue your successes into the regular season. So thank you guys again, and I'll see you in the next video.